One of the most perplexing and debated mysteries in the Bible is the identity and nature of the Nephilim. These beings, mentioned in Genesis 6, are described as giants born from the union of divine beings and human women. This short passage has sparked curiosity, speculation, and debate among theologians, scholars, and believers for millennia. But who exactly were these Nephilim? Why are they considered so important that their existence led to God sending a devastating flood to cleanse the earth? In this extended exploration, we will uncover the background of the Nephilim, analyze scriptural references, and delve into ancient texts, including the Book of Enoch. We will also discuss the impact of this narrative on early Christian theology and how modern scholars view the Nephilim today. The Genesis 6 account, where it all begins. The story of the Nephilim begins in Genesis 6 verses 1 to 4. When human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown." Genesis 6 verses 1 to 4. This passage describes how the sons of God mated with human women, producing offspring known as the Nephilim. While the term Nephilim literally means fallen ones, it later became associated with giants. The connection between the Nephilim and the global flood that follows in Genesis seems to imply that their wickedness played a key role in God's decision to destroy humanity. The Nephilim in ancient tradition. Over the centuries, scholars and theologians have debated the identity of the sons of God and the Nephilim. Were the sons of God fallen angels, or were they simply humans from a righteous lineage? One key source that sheds light on this mystery is the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text written around 200 BC. Although not included in the canonical Bible, the Book of Enoch was highly influential in early Jewish and Christian thought. It provides an expanded version of the Genesis 6 story, explicitly stating that the sons of God were fallen angels. The Book of Enoch and the Watchers. The Book of Enoch offers a detailed account of how 200 angels, known as the Watchers, were sent by God to instruct and guide humanity. Instead, these angels became corrupted by their lust for human women, resulting in their sinful union and the birth of the Nephilim. According to Enoch, these Nephilim were giants, characterized by immense strength and violence. They became so wicked that they turned into cannibals, devouring humans and spreading evil across the earth. In 1 Enoch 6:2, it says, "And when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, 'Come, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children.'" This narrative portrays the Nephilim as a hybrid race born from fallen angels and humans, wreaking havoc on the earth before being destroyed by the flood. The influence of the Book of Enoch in the New Testament. Although the Book of Enoch is not part of the canonical Bible, it was widely known and respected by early Jews and Christians. One of the most striking pieces of evidence for its influence is found in the Epistle of Jude in the New Testament, where Jude directly quotes from the Book of Enoch. Jude 1 verses 14 to 15 references Enoch's prophecy. Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied about them. "See, the Lord is coming with thousands upon thousands of his holy ones to judge everyone, and to convict all of them of all the ungodly acts they have committed in their ungodliness, and of all the defiant words ungodly sinners have spoken against him." This passage closely parallels a verse in 1 Enoch 1:9, indicating that Jude considered the Book of Enoch a valuable and authoritative source of knowledge. Additionally, 2 Peter 2 verses 4 to 5 alludes to the punishment of the fallen angels, who were cast into Tartarus, a term used in Greek mythology to describe the deepest part of the underworld. "For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but sent them to hell, putting them in chains of darkness to be held for judgment. If he did not spare the ancient world when he brought the flood on its ungodly people, but protected Noah, a preacher of righteousness, and 7 others. 2 Peter 2 verses 4-5. This reference to angels sinning and being imprisoned closely aligns with the Enochian account of the Watchers being bound for their rebellion. The role of the Nephilim in the flood. The Book of Enoch, along with the Genesis 6 narrative, presents the Nephilim as a central reason for the flood. Their corruption of humanity and their immense wickedness led God to cleanse the earth with water. Wisdom 14:6, a verse from the Book of Wisdom, provides additional insight into this connection. For even in the beginning, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world, governed by your hand, escaped in a weak vessel, and left to all ages a seed of generation. Here, the proud giants are the Nephilim, who were destroyed in the flood, while the vessel is Noah's Arkansas. The flood represents God's judgment against these corrupted beings, wiping them from the earth and preserving Noah's family as the righteous seed for future generations. Church Fathers on the Nephilim. Early Christian theologians, known as the Church Fathers, also grappled with the Nephilim narrative. Many of them accepted the view that the Nephilim were the offspring of fallen angels. For example, Saint Justin Martyr, Saint Clement of Alexandria, and Tertullian all supported the interpretation that the sons of God were angelic beings who sinned by mating with human women. However, a shift in interpretation occurred with Saint Augustine, one of the most influential theologians in Christian history. In his monumental work, The City of God, Augustine argued that the sons of God were not angels but rather the descendants of Seth, the righteous son of Adam. According to Augustine, the daughters of men were the descendants of Cain, the wicked son of Adam. Thus, Augustine believed that the Nephilim were simply the offspring of human intermarriage between the righteous and the wicked, not a hybrid race of angels and humans. Augustine's interpretation became the dominant view in Western Christianity, particularly within the Catholic Church. However, the earlier interpretation, which viewed the Nephilim as the offspring of fallen angels, persisted in some Christian traditions and remains influential in modern times. Modern interpretations of the Nephilim. Today, there are several competing interpretations of the Nephilim. Some scholars, like Dr. Michael Heiser, advocate for a literal interpretation, arguing that the Nephilim were indeed a hybrid race of fallen angels and humans. Heiser emphasizes that the original Hebrew text of Genesis 6, as well as the ancient Jewish tradition found in the Book of Enoch, supports this view. Others, such as Margaret Barker, suggest that the Nephilim should be understood symbolically, representing the moral and spiritual corruption of humanity before the flood. In this view, the story of the Nephilim serves as an allegory for the widespread violence and wickedness that led to God's judgment. Still, other scholars propose that the Nephilim were simply a race of unusually tall or strong people, perhaps akin to the ancient Anakim or Rephaim mentioned later in the Bible. These scholars argue that the Nephilim were likely historical figures, but their mythological nature grew over time. Conclusion: unraveling the mystery of the Nephilim. The Nephilim remain one of the most enigmatic and debated subjects in biblical scholarship. Whether viewed as literal giants, symbolic representations of wickedness, or the offspring of fallen angels, their presence in the Bible and other ancient texts continues to capture the imagination of believers and scholars alike. The story of the Nephilim, as told in Genesis 6, the Book of Enoch, and other ancient sources, provides a fascinating glimpse into the ancient worldview of divine beings, human sin, and divine judgment. Whether the Nephilim were real or metaphorical, their existence serves as a reminder of the consequences of human and angelic disobedience and the extent of God's justice. As we study these ancient texts and explore their implications, we are invited to consider the profound mysteries of the Bible, the relationship between the human and the divine, and the ultimate purpose of God's judgment and mercy in the world.
If you found this video enjoyable, please consider liking and sharing it. Additionally, Subscribing to this channel will ensure that you receive more updates in the future. Thank you.